Hello and Happy New Year. Have you ever set some New Year's intentions only to find that 4 to 6 weeks in, you've completely fallen off the bandwagon? Well, you're certainly not alone. In fact, there's been a study done by the Association of Psychology that finds that 80% of people fail to keep their New Year's resolutions by about mid-February. So forget New Year's resolutions, try these 10 ideas instead. Number 1. Review last year and reflect on what went well, what didn't go well, what did you learn from it, how could it be better, and most importantly, of the things that went well, how can you do more of what went well? Number 2, don't make a New Year's resolution, set a New Year's intention instead. So what's the difference? It really has to do with how much leeway and grace that you're giving yourself. So the idea being that you'd like to achieve this, you will get there when you get there, but it's not a strict or a do or die kind of attitude where if you do it, great, you're successful, and if you don't, there's all this drama and guilt around the failure behind it. It's just, hey, this is where I'd like to be, I'm gonna take the steps to get there, and we'll get there when we do. Number 3, consider picking an intention that's directly tied to your happiness. And what I mean by that is instead of just choosing, okay, I want to lose more weight or exercise more, which are all great intentions and resolutions, pick something that's going to give you more bang for the buck. So one particular professor from the Harvard Business School, his name is Professor Arthur C. Brooks. He wrote an article about New Year's resolutions that was featured in the Atlantic. And he said, go ahead and pick something that is going to be directly tied to your happiness. So things like forgiveness or practicing gratitude. And they've even done studies further on those subjects that find that people's levels of happiness and their level of well-being is increased. Their feelings of anger and resentment have significantly been reduced. So all good stuff here. Number 4, set some easily doable actions and realistic expectations around your intention. So instead of just saying, I want to exercise more, supercharge it with some purpose and some specificity by saying, I'm going to commit to working out a minimum of 3 times a week so that I'm more energized, I'm more present for my family, I'm a better coworker, and it also helps me feel good about myself and clears my head. So kind of tie some purpose that's going to motivate you to continue doing that, and then again, some specificity. Number 5, build in breaks. And this is going to just allow yourself some space to work on that intention and help set you up for success and just give you breathing room to get it done. Number 6, make a plan for when you get off track. So it's bound to happen. It happens to the best of us, and that's okay. That's part of the process. But I think anticipating and thinking ahead in terms of what could go wrong, what could get in the way, what are my challenges, and what thoughts could actually bring me down, and what thoughts are going to help serve me when that happens, and maybe even create a note for yourself in advance so when it occurs, you have this great guide as to, hey, here are the thoughts that are going to serve me. I already know this could come up. Here's my plan for that. For some of my clients, we do some grounding exercises, especially when they get back into overwhelm, and also set up some important reminders to help them stay the course, encourage them. Number 7, consider implementing some rewards or possibly some form of punishment if that is effective for you. So maybe treating yourself to a favorite cup of tea or cappuccino after your first day of doing that, setting up a lunch with a favorite friend after maybe a couple weeks, or if you had an eye on an item that you didn't get for the holidays, maybe after a month, you worked really hard, you've achieved this goal, and why not give yourself something that's going to bring you joy? On the other hand, sometimes people find that if you avoid some kind of punishment, that actually motivates you in a different kind of way. So you can say, hey, if I'm not exercising those 3 times a week, I'm going to let my friend know that this is what's going on. And if I don't do that, I'm going to pay them $100. Something like that. Number 8, get an accountability partner. So that same friend, you can keep each other accountable for whatever it is that you're looking to do and help each other stick with that. Number 9, implement one new intention at a time. And once you got one down, You can always add more, and I'd say no more than 3 total at a time. Otherwise, it gets too overwhelming and it's too much, and people end up kind of losing all faith and just quitting. So just take it one at a time. And number 10, evaluate your New Year's intention and look at it every 30 to 90 days and, figure out what's working, what isn't, tweak whatever you need to, and pivot when needed. And finally, one thought to remember would be you have the ultimate choice here. Who says you actually have to wait a whole new year to begin a brand new intention? So if you're watching this and this is, in the spring or in the summer or the fall, there's no reason why you can't start a new intention next week, next month, next quarter, even tomorrow. So as Napoleon Hill wisely counsels, every failure brings with it a seed of equivalent success. So even if you do fall off the wagon, that's okay. That's going to help serve you to your next success. So thank you for watching. And if you need more resources, I've got a couple of things that might be useful to you. There's Daily Happiness Formula you can download in the link below, or my free guide on how to focus on your priorities. I hope that this was helpful, and make it an awesome day.